thank you so much for participating on the call. I really appreciate that. Um, Guys, I'm gonna allow Ryan to introduce himself, but guys, this outstanding guy. I've had a chance to meet Ryan down in Florida. He's one of the top producers in the nation with Your Insurance Group, and he's really doing a great job with Facebook leads. So we thought we'd get Ryan on and share some of his success because, to be honest with you, Ryan, we've had some agents that have tried Facebook leads and had mediocre success.
Mhm.
Um, but no one that I has had the success that you've had with these leads, and I really would like for you to share, what it is you're doing with the leads. I'm going to go through a couple of things first, but if you wouldn't mind, just take a minute and just tell us, introduce yourself, and just tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Sure, thanks, Joe. Again, my name is Ryan Giddings. I'm out of Tampa, Florida. Been in this business about half a decade. I think I'm going on 6 years now in the final expense business. I was originally with Lincoln Heritage, where they kind of were a great company, but they kind of gave me the 411, the final expense 101 on kind of the ground and pound of knocking on doors and getting homes. And I've been on the brokerage side for about a year now, and I really love it. I really love what I do. I really love helping people day in, day out. And, I've been doing this business for a decent amount of time. I try to use my strong points to the best of my ability, which would be door knocking. And been growing a group. I had a group with Lincoln Heritage for a decent amount of time, and there was a lot of things with leads that they kind of cut off. And with on the brokerage side of things, guys, you guys are in complete control of your own destiny. You're a lion that you can eat as much as you want. You're not caged in. But Facebook, the direct mail, to the tele lead, there's a ton of opportunity. But when it comes to growing a group, I've got a few agents in Texas. Two of them will be joining you, Joe, on your training seminar on Tuesday. Got a
That's
couple
awesome.
up north as well as quite a few in Florida. So, I do it all. A master of all trades, joker of none, whatever you want to call it. But have a group. I personally produce 5, sometimes 6 days a week, but I really do spend a lot of time out in the field. And you might be better than me, is always the thing, but you'll never outwork me. So um, I think that's a good strong point to put in your back pocket, guys. Don't let someone outwork you, and get what's out there, put in your pocket.
Well, you're right about being the master of our destiny. Guys, you got to remember, we're all independent contractors, man. There's a ton of different lead sources out there. And if you find a good lead source, let us know about it because we'll check it out. And if it turns out to be a great lead source, we'll probably try it first. And then if it's good, we'll share it with the team. But you've got the direct mail that we use. We've had a lot of success with the YIG direct mail lead. Um, Direct mail leads are awesome, but the biggest disadvantage sometimes with direct mail is just the lag time. They're expensive. It's a great lead. It's totally worth the money, but you're waiting 3, 4, 5 weeks sometimes for those leads to come in. And then typically with Facebook, Ryan, what have you, after you place an order, are you seeing leads within 2 or 3 days starting to come in typically?
Yeah, 2 to 3 business days.
Okay.
Usually by within 5 days, you're getting all your leads. And I appreciate you. You're the one that kind of put me on the DIMG. I think you said there was a different name that had, but the Digital Independent Marketing Group
Yep.
uh, is the marketing group I use now, thanks to you, Joe. I love the fact that they have a more tight radius when it comes to you place it in a town like Lakeland or Tampa or wherever you're at. You're getting about within 10 to 25 miles of that radius, which is kind of an anomaly. I mean, most of these Facebook marketing companies are typically guaranteeing 50-mile radius, and that's about how far they go out sometimes. So I think, Joe, you found a pretty good one. I think that's the kind of the make or break is we don't want to travel farther than we have to.
Exactly.
To be honest, time is money, or time is valuable. The farther out you are, the farther away you are from home, the more travel time you have. So you want to have that nucleus as close knit as you can. So I really love these leads. I'll kind of go into the breakdown here in a minute, but typically I really do find a lot of success with them. I think, to be honest, I think a good recipe is a mix. If you ask me, if you do have a direct mail lead order, if you're just joining, a Senior Solutions or your insurance group, I think I always recommend getting on a direct mail and doing a small order of 15 a week, and adding the 20 to 30 leads of Facebook leads a week. I think that's a really good mix because the Facebook leads, I'm completely transparent. They're a little spread out. Even with DIMG, you're going to get a little spread out. You're not going to get all your leads in one town unless you're in a very populated city. But if you have that mix of your Facebook leads are kind of throughout a county / 2 counties, and then you have kind of your sole 15 direct mail leads or 20 direct mail leads in the sole area of where you work day in, day out. I think it's a good mix. But yeah, I've been supplementing the Facebook leads. They've been working out so good, Joe, that I use them only now, and I don't even work direct mail right now. And what the saying goes, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So when I'm working these, I've only done 2 batches of Facebook, but they've been extremely good so far. So I'll kind of go into, you kind of want me to go into the numbers and the breakdown of kind of how I approach the lead.
Yeah, absolutely, I do. And then I know we were just talking yesterday. Tell us a little bit about the last couple of days, just the success that you've been having with Facebook leads. And then at some point, I will cover too how agents can order Facebook leads. I've got a couple of slides up of how to navigate through the ordering website.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I have the full breakdown, all my numbers for the 2 batches of leads that I've ordered so far. But just as of yesterday, I think it was in my 6 years, I've written 5K in AP 3 times, and yesterday was one of them. I think I wrote 5,200 or 5,100. There was one large one that was an old client of mine that was a direct mail lead that I wrote, probably 3 or 4 months ago, and I saw the corner of my eye. I was picking up information for banking information. He switched over, and on the corner of my eye, I saw a Transamerica application or policy, and I looked at it, and they put him on standard when he didn't need to be on standard, so I got him on Foresters. But long story short, about 3,000 of that business yesterday was all Facebook. I wrote 3 policies for around 3,000 in AP. Had appointments set from door knocking. Now, I'm not big over the phone, and I agree with Jimmy. He was saying don't fall in that category of a telemarketer, because that's what you're doing when you're calling these leads, and they get hit nonstop. If you guys are ever in a home and all of a sudden you see on your big screen TV, in the top left-hand corner it says the number, and if you're like me, they usually just hang up the phone or don't even answer it, and they kind of makes their blood boil. I personally don't agree with using the phone. The only time I'd ever use the phone if I have one lead that's maybe an hour or 2 away, and I don't have any other leads to supplement that, I'm definitely grabbing my cell phone out. But I typically do the door knocking. What I really love about DIMG is that it is a natural lead card that you have. So I pretty much approach it like a direct mail lead.
I have a copy of that if you want me to put it on the screen.
Yeah, sure.
We can show everybody. Let me pause here and just go to, there we go. It's actually one of your lead cards. I just blocked out the client's information so they can't door knock it or call it.
Yeah, I probably already sold this one, so good luck. Good luck trying. Teal.
Okay.
I think I did sell this one because I had a Teal your insurance group polo on. So
Okay.
that was a funny one that I put 2 and 2 together. Yeah. So this lead is great, man. I use this just like a direct mail lead. I don't know if you guys are doing this process. But it's the same approach. I pretty much knock on the door. I say, "Hey Betty, sorry to bother you. My name is Ryan. I'm with YIG. You guys say Senior Solutions, but you requested some state-regulated final expense information on this day. So you really want to state. So in this one, you would say July 2nd." At 6:23. So you really want to pinpoint it. And I typically, it's like an approach. I know some people are very analytical and they're like, well, I don't know if I can just do this at the top of my head. It's a lot of kind of overcoming objections and doing this. But really, honestly, if you're an analytical guy like myself, you really can approach this analytically. You can approach the door the same way, make yourself comfortable, hold it with your left arm, whatever you want. But I'm approaching this as that I'm showing them the lead piece and I'm pointing. I hand them the lead piece and I'm physically taking my finger and I'm pointing. You filled this out on July 2nd at 6:23 on Facebook. You said your favorite color was teal. Hey, Betty Sue, I'm wearing teal for you. And I let
I love it.
them know that anyone who fills this out in Hillsborough or Polk County, they send me. So I'm pretty much stating that the company is sending me out to come talk to you. It only takes 5 to 10 minutes. I promise you I'll be brief. So you kind of want to put it on them, right? This piece of paper, whether it's $2 or $50, it's a conversation piece. And me and Joe were talking about this, a direct mail, Facebook, whatever kind of lead you have. All it is a conversation piece. It gives you a reason to knock on their door, gives you a reason to say, you fill this out, all I got to do is sit down. Now, this lady might have thought it was free insurance. This lady might have already have coverage, okay? But until you sit down and ask those important questions and start peeling back that onion and figure out what the heck she's got, what she can afford, what's the reason for her filling this out. There's a reason, guys. These don't just pop up. All right, the direct mails don't just pop up in the mail. They don't just get filled out themselves. We don't know that her favorite color was teal. So she physically filled this out, whether she wanted this or not. This is something where there's something inside of her head that filled it out for some sort of reason. And she had other coverages. I remember this lady. She had other coverages, and I let her know that she has this coverage, give those, she wants those given out to the loved ones, and then they can just split up how you want. Well, I said, I broke it down to her. I was like, well, you got 20,000 of coverage, you got 3 kids, it's going to get split kind of unevenly. You just want to get cremated. Why not just get you the $3,000 to $5,000 policy just for specifically for cremation? Wouldn't that make sense? And then she went for it, because it does make sense. Guys, this is final expense life insurance. If you have life insurance, great. This is final expense life insurance. You got final expense life insurance, great. This is life insurance. Well, however you want to approach it, guys. End of the day, these policies do pay out quicker because end of the day, they're typically a smaller policy sometimes. So if someone has a ton of coverage, guys, you guys can approach it any angle you want. Put yourself in their shoes, and what can this young buck across the table say to me that will influence my action? So you guys really just have to approach it, get inside the home, okay? That's the biggest thing. I think she threw a couple objections at me. Oh, I wasn't sure. I was just curious. That's great. You know, you can rip this up and make paper mache out of it. I really don't care what you do with it. All I got to do is just show you the information. It takes 5 to 10 minutes, right? I think she threw another objection. Now's a bad time. I think I even stated that, well, now's a bad time as well. I got an appointment in 10 minutes. I'll be super brief, guys. So no matter what they say, if you guys don't have the objection and the rebuttals in the back of your head, you're dropping the ball. So just be prepared when you come to the door. You need to know exactly what to say if they say X, Y, Z. And I assume all this is that Joe has probably every single rebuttal that has ever come across and objections, you know, blue to the face. But when it comes to these direct mail pieces, or sorry, these Facebook pieces, you know, I've been finding great success with them, Joe.
Yeah, I just love your approach uh, that you treat them the same as you would any other lead, because I think for a lot of agents, they get a Facebook lead, so I guess in their mind they're thinking, well, then because they contacted us through the computer, I'm just going to text them, I'm going to email them, I'm going to call them, and I'm going to book an appointment that way. But what you're saying is the best way to handle it is just take it to the street. And I think by doing that, you're separating yourself from the competition and is going there. Would you mind just going over the door script one more time? Exactly what it is that you say at the door?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So I always, I think the biggest thing, so let me just, I probably should have, when I was explaining who I am and what I've done in this business, I probably should explain my failures first.
Okay.
Because I think it builds a lot of importance to my testimony. Guys, I sucked at this. I was absolutely horrible at this. I was awkward at the door. I felt nervous. My hands got sweaty. I fumbled around my words and didn't articulate when I presented. I mumbled a lot, and there was just a lot of going on that I just needed to improve on myself. And when it came to um, the whole process of the door approach, I didn't smile. I think I had my second manager in the same company because the first manager was like, this guy's a wreck. So I think I got pawned off to another manager. Whatever the case was, shout out to Frankie Novello if you guys ever know him.
Hmm.
He basically looked at me after we did the door my first time, and he looked at me. He said, "Why aren't you smiling?" And I said, well, what am I smiling about? It's 98 degrees, and I'm hot. He's like, man, he was an ex rock star, whatever it was. I think he opened up for Kiss or something. And he just said, you're an artist. You're on stage. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care. It's hot out. End of the day, you come up to this person. You want to bring as much positivity and enthusiasm to that person's house and put a big smile on your face. And when I say hi, Betty Sue, I'm smiling, a big giant smile, not fake but sincere. And I say, hi, Betty Sue. My name is Sorry to bother you. I try to say sorry to bother you to kind of put their guard down, right? Because you don't know what's going on. They could be arguing with their spouse. They could have a child screaming in the back. The dog could be running out loose. You don't know what's going on. Sorry to bother you. My name is Ryan. I'm with YIG. You requested some state regulated final expense information on XYZ at XYZ time on Facebook. You said your favorite hobby or color was XYZ. And if anyone in X county or Z county fills these things out, they send me to.
Hey, hey, Ryan, back up. You broke up a little bit. Go back to
Yep.
the when if anyone sends it in this county.
Right. So I just always stay with
For some reason, your audio is breaking up a little bit, buddy. I don't know why.
It's, no.
Says you are offline. Maybe you're having an internet connection. This is really good content. I hope I can get you back. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is just continue with the training guys and go over how to order the Facebook leads. Let me do this. Unmute again. Okay, I just unmuted you again.
Connection has been reestablished. You guys good?
Oh yeah. So I tell you what, can we just do the whole door knock approach over so it's all together?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I'm just stating their first name. I usually don't go with Mr. So and so or
Okay.
so and so. So I'll just say, "Hi, Betty." Let them acknowledge that that's who they are. It could be the sister, it could be the daughter. You don't know who is who. You want to make sure that lead piece you're getting in front of that person, because last thing you want to do is get through that gatekeeper. So get the person in front of you. So if it's Betty Sue. Hi, Betty. She acknowledges, yeah, I'm Betty. Hey, Betty, sorry to bother you. My name is Ryan, and I'm with YIG. You requested some state-regulated final expense information on July 2nd at 6:23 on Facebook. Yep, you said your favorite color was teal, and if anyone in Hillsborough County and Polk County fills these things out, they'd send me to come talk to you. It only takes 5 to 10 minutes. I promise you I'll be brief.
And then what? May I come in, or what's the get in the house phrase?
Oh yeah, I mean basically if they have any, I promise you I'll be brief. And basically they're either let me in right there, or they have some objection, right? So I actually don't say may I come in, right? So all right, listen to this. All right, Joe, if I say may I come in, you have no, you may not come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm stating that I'm taking 5 minutes of your time, Mr. Johnson. So are we sitting inside or outside, right? So
I like that.
I'll be brief. I'll take 5 to 10 minutes. I'll be brief. I'm literally being politely aggressive, guys. I don't know any of my agents on this call. You guys hear it dead blue in the face. Politely aggressive is something in this business that if you're very polite, I get it. You got to turn up the heat sometimes. And when it comes to stating the very end, just try it. Just try to be slightly more aggressive on that point with a big smile on your face. It's hard to turn down someone politely aggressive.
Awesome. Hey, can you go over your numbers a little bit? You had mentioned, I think we started to get into it, but you had mentioned that you had ordered some leads, and kind of explain how it works with digital marketing with these Facebook leads, about how you're paying for a campaign, but it's also possible that you may get more leads than the minimum. And just talk about recently how many leads that you've received, and what would you estimate your sit ratio and then closing ratio would be.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So basically, Joe, when me and you linked up, um, I think I'm on my second order. So I've only ordered two of them, but 58 leads is what I.
Oh, Ryan, I think your connection is not the best. I can't hear you. See if we can reestablish. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is just I'm going to scroll up here and just show you guys how to order the leads. And then Ryan, if you can I don't know if you can hear me, but if I can't hear you, if we can reestablish your connection, then I will unmute you again. Guys, give me 1 second just to get to the screen. All right. Here we go. Everyone should be able to see this now. This is the link that you want to use. We've got a special link for you to order for Senior Solutions agents to go ahead and order their leads. Ryan, I'm going to try and unmute you again, see if you can hear me.
Yep, I'm back.
I can hear you.
You guys hear me?
All right, perfect. Let me kind of go through this real quick, and then I'll flip it back over to you, if that's
Sure.
okay.
Yeah, sure.
So guys, if you're interested, after this orientation, after this webinar, if you want to get more information about Facebook leads, contact me, contact your manager. We can provide you with the link to order. This is specific to Senior Solutions. They've created for us. This is the landing page. And basically what you want to do is click down here where this lovely older couple are, where it says Final Expense Leads. So you simply would just click there. Then you want to go ahead and order. And you see here, it's this is as a one-time purchase. There is also an option to do a recurring order, a 4-week recurring order as well. But the one-time order is $400. And you see right here, it says $400 for a one-time 20 lead guarantee. If you do a recurring, which is you're committing to 4 weeks of 400 a week for 4 weeks, then he'll guarantee you 22 leads. So it's actually, you get a few more leads for that. Once you've selected whether you're going to do the subscription or the one-time purchase, you just simply click here where it says add to cart. Once you add it to your cart, you're going to go ahead and put in your information. Here we got, and this is who's going to be calling the lead, because they actually, when you order the Facebook leads, they're actually sending an email and a text to the client letting them know that John Smith, Joe Johnson, Ryan Giddings is going to be contacting that person. You put in your phone number, your email address, and then there's a section here where it says additional areas or exclusions. So maybe you're doing this by zip code, maybe you're doing it by a town. As an example, you know, like if I'm ordering Facebook leads in Illinois, as an example, and I'm trying to stay out more in the suburbs, I may put in there exclusions like Chicago. Like I don't want any leads in Chicago, as an example, because I don't want to go into the city, but I'm okay staying just out. So you can kind of pick certain areas that you want to stay in, or there may be certain, maybe you're working in a bigger metropolitan area, and you know there's some really, you know, bad areas that are super sketchy. Well, you may want to find out what those areas are, the name of the town, or the neighborhood or the zip code, and put those in as an exclusions, and just write up a little bit of a write up a summary of why you don't want to be in those areas, or maybe it's an area you do want to be in. So once you put in all your information, you just simply click here where it says checkout. When you go to checkout, this is where you put in your billing information, your credit card information, and this is where you want to type in the zip code. We've been doing enough volume with the marketing company that they've given us a $50 discount. And the code is SAVE, S-A-V-E 50. And you can see it right here. So once you put in your discount code and you click apply, it's going to reduce your order from 400 down to 350. So you're actually going to be getting minimum at least 20 leads for 350, which brings your cost down to $17.50. But you may get more leads than the 20. Remember, 20 is the minimum guarantee. So Ryan, with that, let me go ahead and flip it back over to you. You can tell us what your experience has been so far ordering Facebook leads, how many you paid for, how many you received, and kind of what your closing, you know, appointment ratios and closing ratios look like.
Yeah, sure. So after 2 lead orders, again, I did the 20 lead order. I got 30 back the first batch, which is pretty amazing. If you guys are math whiz, that's only $12 a lead. The second batch I got back, I put in 20 lead order and I got back 28. So for $700, I got 58 leads. It's around $12 a lead, guys. So that's amazing in and of itself. The one thing, and we're trying to say all the pros, and you got to have some negatives. Facebook leads are typically a little tougher to get in front of. So people are usually more active. I think that Facebook is more socialite type people. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you have internet, you typically you might be running around a little bit more, so they're a little tougher to get in front of. So out of that first batch of 30 leads, I sold 7 leads for a total of 38.76 in AP. All right. So the only difference is there's 9 leads I still haven't got in front of, right? So I'm not turning and burning these. I still hold on to them. So out of 21 people I got in front of, I sold 7 leads. Or sorry, seven applications. So it's 33% closing ratio. You want to plug in the 9 that I didn't get in front of. That's still 23% closing ratio. 7 out of 30 for about 4,000 in AP. Now, I think sometimes I even was a fault to this at first, is time is money, guys. So if you have a batch of leads, a 20, 30 leads of these Facebook, and all of a sudden you can't get in front of the last 5 or 6 or 10, order another batch, guys. Don't turn your wheels and run around in circles. If you got notes on there, you stop by 5 or 6 times. You stop by there at 9 a.m. You stop by there at 6 p.m. at 1 p.m. They're eventually there. They might have vacation. They might work overnight. Whatever the case is. I'm not sure, Joe. Do your agents use sticky notes?
Yeah, we call them door tags, but yeah, we use them.
Delivery notices, door
Yep.
tags,
Yep.
UPS wannabes, whatever you want to be. You got to use those, guys. If you're door knocking these like you should, you got to use the sticky notes. And then when it comes to, most of the time they usually will call back, and I just head back over there. So they're a little tougher to get in front of. Facebook is. That's why I think the good recipe is a little direct mail mixed in with Facebook. But 7 out of 21 second batch. Already I've written 8 in I think 3 days. 8 applications out of 15 that I've got in front of. So I still have 13 people to see, and I've written 65, 81 in AP. So pretty
Sweet.
good return on my money. I think I did almost 5K minus the 2, so 3K yesterday just off Facebook.
That's awesome, dude. You know what? I really believe in your philosophy too about, leads. I know a lot of guys will do that. It's like, I mean, I still got 9 leads left. I want to work all these before I order more. No, man, here's the thing. Here's the thing I have found for me personally, Ryan, is that I have to have more leads than I have time, because Jimmy and I call it lead poverty. Is that, if you order 20 leads and you work through them and you have 5 left, and you're like frustrating yourself trying to get a hold of those last 5 people, you go into something called lead poverty. And when you go into lead poverty, that's when you start becoming emotionally attached to your leads. But when you have more leads and you have time, you're not worried about the 5 people that didn't answer their door, or you left sticky notes 6 times and all that stuff. Man, you just, at some point, you move on to the next, and you got to keep loading up. The old expression is you got to keep loading up the apple cart. And when you load up the apple cart, what's going to happen? A few apples are going to fall off. That's okay. Don't worry about it. It's the law of large numbers, man. Keep loading up those leads. There's an expression that says it's easier to give birth than to resurrect. And a lot of agents, they spend so much time trying to resurrect old leads from the dead, where you will be a lot more profitable if you just get in front of new people and more people. So I'm 100% on board of exactly everything that you're talking about today. And I'll flip it back over to you and allow you to continue with this awesome seminar.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't second that any more than you did when it comes to just always have fresh leads. There's no point for me to get in my car and work 10, 12 hours out in the field unless I got a batch of fresh leads or I got 5 or 6 appointments set. So I'm working these just like direct mail. I think there was an all-star in the business named Larry Moore, that he did 20K of production a month for 7 years straight. Not 1 month he did less than 20K. I didn't believe it. He showed me the numbers. 7 years straight, 20K. You know what he did? He spent 13 hours on Monday, not setting appointments on the phone. No, he spent 13 hours on Monday. That was his power day. He had 20 leads a week. He went to every single door he possibly could on that Monday, and he set his week up. So guys, if you are an appointment person, you feel bad that you're knocking on their door at a bad time, then set your appointments door knocking. Don't be that telemarketer, guys. You know, and I really think knocking on the doors, putting a big smile on their face, showing you're a live person, you got a badge on, you got the starter kit, and that's a big thing. I think that is I'm finding success is I'm door knocking these leads. I'm treating it like an actual lead. I'm handing the lead to the client, potential client. I'm showing them they filled this out. Yep, because you filled this out, you know, my company sent me all the way out here to come talk to you.
That's awesome. I want to see if, hey, Jimmy, you are still on, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. I think Ryan's still on. Dude, anything you'd like to add, or did you have any questions for Ryan?
Well, I just want to first send him a shout out. How you doing, Ryan?
Hey, Jimmy, how's it going, bud?
Good, good. Well, you know, I also got to meet Ryan out in Florida. He's a really sharp young man, and as you can tell, he knows his business. And when you're consistently on the leaderboard, that means you're doing something right. And you know, listening to Ryan, I see that you know what he's doing right really is a couple of things. One, he has leads. He has direct mail and Facebook leads. That's the first thing he's doing there right. The second thing he's doing right, probably more important, is that he's actually out there working them. And so you have to be consistent. He said a story a second ago about doing the Power Monday. You know, when I was a full-time producer, that's exactly what my strategy was. Every Monday was my Power Monday, and I worked it hard. And in many times, I would write, you know, a ton of business just on the first day of the week, and then the rest of the week I could, you know, kind of cruise a little bit, not work so hard, maybe do some more recruiting and, you know, work on some of the other stuff. But you know, it's nothing like starting your week off awesome. And I always started my week on Saturdays by setting up appointments for Mondays. But I mean, really and truly, when I very first started, I was having to work in a town about 3 hours from San Antonio, and which is my hometown. And so I was working Mondays and Tuesdays only in the field, and I was making a good, you know, 4, 5, maybe 6,000 a week just working 2 days. I mean, so if you get out there and you bust it up, and I'm talking about working 2 full days. I worked from morning to night, you know. So I was out at the first door knocking at 8 o'clock, and you know, oftentimes I didn't go back to the hotel till 9 p.m. And I didn't have like this big power lunch. I just kind of like got a Subway, ate in the car between, you know, between my my door knocks. So I mean, if you really want to work hard, this is a very rewarding business, but you have to have leads, and you have to have, you know, the fortitude to get out there and actually go do it. So.
Awesome. Awesome. Guys, if you want to take advantage of the platform that we have here as being an independent contractor, take advantage of the multiple lead sources that we have available for our independent agents. Let us know, man. If you're interested in ordering Facebook leads, let us know. We'll email you the link. And you just hop right on there and order them. And like Ryan said, typically what we've experienced is, you know, you're getting leads in your inbox or emailed to you within a day or two. Sometimes we've even had it where, you know, agents ordered, you know, leads in the afternoon. They started or ordered leads and actually started getting leads that evening or the next morning. So one thing that's a little bit different about Facebook leads versus direct mail is that my recommendation is that don't order Facebook leads unless you're ready to work them. So, if you're going to take a road trip as an example, I know we have a lot of agents that do this. They'll see overflows as an example in an area that's, a couple hours drive. Maybe they're planning a road trip. Man, order them just a day or two before you plan on working that area, because you don't want them sitting around for a long period of time. You want to get on these Facebook leads if you can within a day or two of when they were just on Facebook. Well, Ryan, I will flip it back over to you and let you close out with any other nuggets of information you'd like to provide to us, and then we'll wrap the call up for today.
Sure, sure. I think you kind of touched on that slightly when it came to areas, when it came to locations, maybe large cities. Sometimes there's bad areas, guys. Not to say that it's always the lead or the area. Sometimes it's the agent. But when it comes to my area, for example, so I'm in Tampa, Florida, right outside, and I've worked Tampa. I don't like it. Anyone that's on this call that's in the Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater area, it's a tough, oversaturated area, to be honest, with no disrespect. Guys, what's really good about these Facebook leads is pick a county outside of your area. Go up to the nearby county or 2 counties over, drive an hour out. Guys, I could write business in Tampa, but I don't like it. There's traffic, there's competition, there's people that already signed up with insurance previously years ago. They're coming down from the Northeast, already got their retirement set. Guys, I travel about an hour and a half out to work my leads. I work in a county called Polk County. So it's really good about these Facebook leads is get out of your comfort zone. Try a county that you've never been to. Try an area that's new to you, or you might had some success with. And that's what's really good about these Facebook is you invest only $350 and you can pretty much find out if it's a gold mine or not. And I found one in Polk County. And I hope everyone on this call isn't going to go run after Polk County.
Yeah, give us those zip codes, Ryan.
But guys, that's what's awesome about these Facebook leads is try a county every week, every month. Try a new county, and you'll be surprised at the results.
Awesome, great advice.
Can I add something to that real quick?
Yeah.
I think that's part of the recipe for success, Ryan, because most of my career with Senior Solutions has been outside of San Antonio, my hometown. And I think part of the recipe for success is 2 things when you're working in another market is 1, you're removing yourself from distractions at home. Oftentimes our spouses, they know that we're self-employed, right? So they give us the honey-do list, or they give you the text or the call, oh, can you go do this, or can you go do that? So, you start getting all these distractions, but, when you're out of town, you don't have to deal with that. You stay focused on work. That's part of it. The other thing is when you're door knocking and you say, well, you know what, I'm from San Antonio, I'm from Tampa, and they know that that's an hour and a half away. It makes sense for you to say, look, I'm already here. I don't know when I'm going to be back. Why don't I just take a few minutes now? But working in your hometown, they're like, well, just get with me later this week. Or, it's kind of casual. There's no sense of urgency. But when you're out of town, they can appreciate that. It's not made up. It's not artificial. It's, it's a legitimate reason to have some urgency. And it really helps you get in front of a lot more people at that particular moment. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Awesome, great info. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead. If there's nothing else, I think this has been great content, Ryan. I really sincerely appreciate you taking the time to come on and educate us about what you're doing, utilizing Facebook leads. This information is really huge. So thank you, my friend. I sincerely appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. All right, guys. With that, everybody have a great weekend. God bless you. If you'd like to get more information on Facebook leads, contact me. That number you see on the screen, that's my cell phone number. Give me a buzz. If you're watching this on replay, if you're checking me out on YouTube and want to get more information, just give me a call on that number. You'll get me directly. All right, everybody. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.